Clyde, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. From where you sit as the union, what's going on here?
Greetings to you, Vuyo, and your viewers. We also were stunned by what have transpired earlier this morning, where we've been told that the CEO have formally tendered his resignation yesterday in the board meeting. And one of the issues which we believe is that we have not been really consulted and strongly want to understand the resignation, what implications does it have? And one of the things which we believe is one of the big issues which we want to really relate to is it looks like it's more about the separation between post office and post bank, where Treasury took a decision to do that post bank needs to be independent. And one of the issues is that for us, what is the risk? What is the implication? Because one cannot do with the other. So one of the issues is that we don't have much information, but where we are sitting is that we are against any separation because it will hinder progress. I think you'll recall one of the issues is that we fought for SASSA for some time. Now we are paying out grants, the social grants. That was going to have an impact because if you remove the financial services of the post office, it means danger because partly we also have, it deals with financial services. So that is one of the issues. But two, it's also in the midst of substantive negotiations where we are at. And in the week's time, we're going to CCMA. And you know, we can't afford another strike. But based on the events, the board goes and engages on a mutual separation package, which we are not even informed about. So I think we have serious issues with one, the board, and two, a Treasury in terms of its decision if taken. They are raising an issue of a risk of 1.2 billion, and that risk for me, it's really, if you recall, when Mark Barnes came into the post office, it had its own crisis. At least it's a bit stable. One of the things we expect, and when there's stability, you expect when there's a handover, it's a proper handover, not in the midst of where there's current challenges, and I think that's where our worry is as communication workers union.
What is your assessment of Mark Barnes' tenure?
Look, he obviously and it was not him alone, but I think him with his executive, they had a good strategy. They brought stability to the post office, and I think in what we believe is that he was a good CEO, unfortunately, based on the challenges. But unfortunately, in life, you lose people and you need to carry on. But I think that workers of the post office, as I was coming in, were calling me a lot to say, President, why is the man leaving? He brought stability. The other day he was on Channel 4.3. He spoke about the whole operations of the post office, how it's going to improve. He wants to bring e-commerce. How do we bring e-commerce in the current state of challenges? And you all know that currently we are dealing with the fourth industrial revolution, technology, things are changing. Where's the future of the post office employees? I think it's a matter that we want to engage government, want to engage Treasury, we want to engage the post office board on its decision. And obviously we have just been told that there's a new acting CEO, the CEO is Lindy Wetkoele. Obviously we will give her the necessary support because obviously we need to look at the state of the country where we are in. The economy is not growing. I think all state-owned entities are shrinking in terms of retrenchment. So it's a challenge for us, but I think we are there to see how do we manage the state of the current affairs. But I think workers of the post office, I think they're not having they're having sleepless nights tonight. They will not be able to sleep based on the challenges which we'll face looking forward.
Let me take advantage of you being here and ask you another quick one. What's happening at the SABC? Have you been updated as to what the next steps are when the chief restructuring officer is going to be put in place and all of that stuff?
No, we are not envy at this point in time. We don't have that information at this point in time. But one of the things we believe is that after the bailout, obviously, one of the things we have agreed upon was the skills audit. How far is that skills audit? Because once you have a proper report of the skills audit, we'll be able to then look at the future. But two, we must also deal with when there's a bailout, all those who have been stealing, being corrupt. I think one of the things is that we must get rid of that syndrome, but have a SABC which the public will be able to view as a public broadcaster. And we must give it some time, but I think we must be able to protect jobs in the current state of affairs. I think earlier on when I've listened to you, we've listened to the stats, 29% of its unemployment, the percentage unemployment is huge. So we need to come with innovative ways to create jobs, and how do we sustain jobs in the current state of the economy.
Well, as a view are held by analysts that job losses are inevitable. Look, the SABC.
No, not only the SABC. I think various other, where we are organizing, you have multi-choice, which is also doing. So I think we need to come with innovative ideas, look at the reskilling of employees, look at what are the challenges. And I think one of the issues is that we must start shrinking this top brass of management. If you look at, I've just seen the chairperson of multi-choice earns roughly about 18 million. The CEO, 10 million. So it tells you, while the executives are growing at salaries, you are shrinking the staff. I think those are issues we need to engage and see how do we unpack them as we move forward.
Oh, that's where we're going to leave it for now. Thank you very much, Clyde Mevin, for coming through. He is, of course, the president of the Communication Workers Union.